What's going on, gang? It's your boy Midnight coming to you live again from the Midnight Cinema. And today, I just got back from seeing Nosferatu. So, without further ado, let's dive into this review. And I am back. Hold on one second, guys. Let me go on ahead and fix that. There we go. Yes. Hey, how y'all doing today? Beautiful smiles all around. It's your boy Midnight coming to you live again. Just saw Nosferatu today. Finally, the Robert Eggers directed and written film, starring Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Holt, Willem Dafoe, and oh my gosh, I just saw this the guy's name. This is gonna it's gonna bug me. It's gonna bug me. I'm gonna figure it out. But he's voicing Galactus, upcoming, and he was in The Witch. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna figure it out. Aaron Taylor Johnson's also in this. Yes, that's not who I was thinking of. It is Ralph Innocent. That's it. Ralph Innocent. Thank you. Finally. Thank God for Letterbox. Anyway, so Nosferatu. Yeah, it's not like the SpongeBob Nosferatu that we've all come to know and love. I think I'm under the impression that Nosferatu either meant vampire or death by the end of it. I haven't had a chance to look it up again. I just got inside and I wanted to go ahead and get this review done for you guys. So essentially, Lily Rose Depp's character, Ellen, she's having these dreams and these nightmares that have kind of connected her to Nosferatu some time ago, right? Connected her to this vampire. But we are introduced to him as Count Orlok when um, Thomas, Nicholas Holt's character, goes out to deliver a deed so he can get this house, essentially. And the people in his town, they don't really, know much about it. But when he goes to the outskirts to go to this other, this pretty much inn to rest for the night, all the gypsies there are talking about this vampire and beware of the vampire and all these other things that's going on. And they take this girl on a horse, and she's supposed to be like this sacrifice essentially to the vampire. And he's like, oh, what's going on with all this? And then he gets to the castle and he essentially meets him. And the whole point is like Nosferatu is trying to use the connection of both Thomas and Ellen he's trying to use Thomas to get to Ellen essentially. And through Thomas, as he gets to Ellen, he can finally, essentially feast upon her, have her, and become one with her. And that's and then, Aaron Taylor Johnson has his family that he's looking after, that he's watching over, that he's friends with Thomas. And then Willem Dafoe's character, he's like this doctor that's been banned out of Switzerland for his occult knowledge and the fact that he knows so much, and they thought that he was crazy, essentially. And then Ralph Innocent's character, he's just the doctor he's the initial doctor that's trying to figure out what's going on, and nothing is he's not saying anything medically wrong. Like he can't figure out what medically is going on with Ellen that should not be happening. That's it. And so he calls in a friend, Willem Dafoe's character, to step into this, and woo! All right. Just killed the spider. So yeah, we got that on camera. Did we get that on camera? We got that on camera. I think Nosferatu's coming to get me. Anyways. But yeah, no, that's essentially the gist of this movie. They have to go ahead and try to figure out how to bring down this vampire. Now, I'm not going to spoil the ending for you guys. Kind of just gave you the quick little summary of the story, essentially. And I think this is definitely... I haven't finished The Lighthouse, but I love The Northman. I think The Northman might still be my favorite. But this is very, very... This could be tied with my favorite Robert Eggers film. As far as the production design, the costumes, the way in which they spoke, their dialect was incredible. And it wasn't really so much German. It was just like that old, like Elizabethan era style English or Victorian. Well, I think Elizabethan was more so the Was Elizabethan before? I think it was Elizabethan, technically. It was Germany, 1838. That might be Victorian era. That might be, yeah. That's Victorian era. I'm thinking Elizabethan is like early 1900s. My apologies. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me in the comments. I appreciate it. Thank you. But yes, that would be technically, I believe, the Victorian era. Yeah. So the way that the town was set up, the way it was designed, the buildings looked fantastic. The woods and the way the cinematography was off the chain. I mean, you expect nothing less with Robert Eggers behind the camera. He's phenomenal. He's a great talent at what he does. Truly. You've got the music by Robin Carolyn. Have not heard of this individual before, but the score for this movie is so freaking good. And y'all know how I feel about movie scores, man. Y'all know I love my movie scores now. So this one right here, top notch. Definitely top notch. Among the best of 2024, truly, I must say. My favorite score is still from The Wild Robot. I'm just saying. But the way Robin Carolyn designs it is that it is so haunting and it's so eerie, and yet it's almost like this dark gothic, somewhat in some ways epic at points and somewhat triumphant, but then when it gets dark, and it gets dark truly, and it works out perfectly fine. And I love that. I love that aspect of it. I love the fact that they were trying to say that within this element was being hysterical and hysteria, and that was a way that they would just kind of diagnose like women back in the day, because they couldn't say it. They were saying, oh, they're crazy, so we can't figure out what this is, so we'll just say it's hysteria. But that wasn't it. It was more to it than that. Like, look deeper, look further in. And I like the aspect of it that I enjoyed a lot is the fact that Willem Dafoe, he had said at one point, and I'm paraphrasing here, that we've essentially become too modern, that we've forgotten the things of old that were taught to us. And he told her that she could have been a priestess because of how strong she was and her connection to the world of the spirit realm, essentially. And he's like, we've forgotten these things. And so this is probably why we're getting this plague upon us, because there are things that we have forgotten. And furthermore, another theme and aspect of the movie that I liked was the fact that it was this shame that she was carrying. And I can't say for sure it's expressed like what it is exactly why off the top of my head. I think, well, no, she said before she met Thomas, she had a very rough childhood, essentially. And everything before that point was just all that guilt and darkness and shame. And then she met Thomas and it all went away. But then even after they got married, it's like it came back. So it's these things from the past that are just coming back to haunt you, even after you find the one that you love, that you're trying to, that you want to be with and build a life with. Those things are still can be haunting to you in a way, unless you find a way to deal with them. And it's just a crazy way to tell that kind of story, but it's so good. And it's very well done. It's very well crafted. And, and that just speaks to the genius of one Robert Eggers for sure, without a doubt. This is among the best of 2024. That can't be denied. I really, really, really cannot wait to see what he does next. I love the take. This is honestly amongst my favorite vampire movies. I just love the way that it was done. And it just kind of gives or harkens back to that of Dracula. And I know in the credits it said that it was inspired by both the original story of Nosferatu and Dracula as well. So with all of that being tied together, you can see the elements of Dracula and how there's the love story aspect, the love story element. And I love that in the horror movies, especially when it comes to these mythological monsters, that we can still add some of that, the romance to it, to essentially humanize some of these creatures and then understand like why they are the way they are, why they're doing what they're doing. And even though it's like, well, this isn't right and no one should ever sleep with a beast, but it's like you see the logic of what's going, like not the logic, but you see the story elements of what's taking place here. And that's not to say that Nosferatu necessarily loved her. It was just like I guess you could say that he did love her, but he loved her for what he meant to her, as far as being that shame. Like if you've seen Big Mouth, right? Think of this: if the Shame Wizard was a vampire instead of a wraith, that's what he would be. That he would be Nosferatu, essentially, because it's like all this guilt, all the shame, it just creeps upon you, and he's just sucking the life out of you, and you can't. And you can't even be who you want to be because all of your life force, all the things that mean something to you are being drained completely because of the shadow of the vampire. Oh my God. I love it. I love it so much. And I tell people, I believe vampires are real because there are some people who will enter your life that literally just leech and they just suck the life out of you. They're draining. They add nothing to you. They only take away completely, incessantly on so many levels. But it's up to you. You have to be able to decipher that. You have to be able to get, really understand and be real with yourself and understand like, hey, I got to cut this off. I got to kill this. I got to stab it with the stake. Get that garlic. You know what I mean? Get that ironclad on him, So, anyways, guys, this is getting longer than I intended to. That's what she said. So yes, there was a joke there. You're welcome. I just wanted to share this review with you guys. Like I said, I enjoyed it. If you haven't had a chance to go see Nosferatu, make sure you go see it. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I love having you guys here. I appreciate your support always. Y'all take care until the next one.
Y'all gonna check me out at these here socials. I'll see you all in the next one. And by the way, make sure that you stay tuned for all types of content that I got going on at this here channel. Remember, one pack, one nation, one smooth hell.